Welcome to Pro Practice, your guide to refine, enliven, and illuminate the piano repertoire. I'm Josh Wright, and today's episode is the first installment of the Schmitt preparatory exercises from the Beginner Technique series. So basically in my full Pro Practice Lifetime Access course, I have Beginner Technique, Beginner Repertoire, Intermediate Technique, Intermediate Repertoire, Advanced Technique, Advanced Repertoire. So if you want to subscribe to that whole course, it is available. But this is just the beginner course technique series, okay? And we will be going through 10 different lessons worth of material in this Schmitt preparatory exercises. Get ready because we're going to dig in today and we're going to do a ton of stuff. We're going to do exercises 1 through 33 because once we get to exercise 34, they're having you do different things. But 1 through 33 are all very similar, okay? So we're just going to kind of breeze through these. I want to teach you 4 different methods to practice these. Just start with method 1. Once that's comfortable, go to method 2 and then obviously 3 and 4 in sequence, okay? So the first thing to remember, if you watched the 5-finger hand positions, that's all we're going to be dealing with. If you want to stay in C major this whole time, that's totally fine. If you want to transpose these to those different 5-finger hand positions, that's totally fine as well. So here's exercise number 1. And it's smooth. You notice as soon as I play the D, the C releases. As soon as I play the E, the D releases. As soon as I play the F, the E releases. So you don't want to allow things to stack up. You don't want to be going, because then it starts to sound muddy and blurry. Okay, so avoid that. Just, that's what I like to call clean releases. Okay? So if you'd like to, go through all the keys. So forth. So let's maybe do the first 4 exercises just legato like that. Okay, here's exercise number 2. We're in no rush. You do not need to be playing. You can, but make sure your hands are perfectly lined up whatever speed you choose. So that and I never make my students do those speeds when they're first learning Schmitt exercises. We can get to faster speeds in Hanon or scales or arpeggios later, which I cover in my Pro Practice Technique series with all of those other skills. Don't worry about speed here. We're just trying to get good form, good fundamentals, okay? Here we go with exercise number 3. Just a quick note, that one's a little more random in the figurations. And one little tip that I want you to remember, always read intervals. So don't be reading only C, D, F, E, G, F. Rather, I would have you read, okay, I've got to know my first note, but then it goes up a second, and then it goes up a third, so it's a skip, and then it goes down a second, and then up a third, down a second, down a third, up a second, down a third. If you read intervals like that, your sight reading will be much more solid than if you're just reading note names, okay? And again, these hands are completely symmetrical, so you can choose to focus on right hand or left hand here, and maybe go back and forth through both, okay? Let's actually move on to number 4. Here we go. Again, you can repeat these, you can do them over and over, just until each of them feel lined up. Another little exercise you can do to make sure that you have strong fingers is to tap on the fall board here or on a hard surface. Kitchen table's fine. Making sure that you can actually hear those strike the keys. I'm not saying you gotta lift your hands super high like this, do high fingers yet. I'm just saying, just make sure the attack is nice and strong, okay? All right, number 5. Let's do